What's up, my dudes? Thank you to Rise Harris for the 50 cents donation. He says, I like the videos. I appreciate it, dog. Okay, so we're doing third gear only on the, what the hell is the name of this track? Transmoto test track. And let's see. Okay, third gear. Third gear only. I don't know if I've ever actually done a video like this or not. I know I've done first gear only, sixth gear only, stuff like that. I don't know if I've ever done a third gear only, so this may be like a whole new experience here. I'm thinking you can actually do like the third gear only fairly well because third gear is pretty much right dead nut center. And even in real life, you'll notice that like in third gear, if you especially on a four-stroke, if you just keep it in third gear over the whole track, you can pretty much ride on the entire track in only third gear. So I'm thinking that's how I'll be able to do this. I'm not really sure. So let's see here. Yeah, dude, I appreciate the donations. I know after I made that, after I made that one video where I shouted that dude out for the donation, I got like 2 more right after that. So shit's going crazy out here, dude. I appreciate the heck out of it. I'm telling you, every single time you get a donation, it builds up more of that feeling of like, dude, I can just do this. Think about if you could just get bigger on YouTube and then never give up on those dreams and keep trying to work hard at it. And one day you can get to the point where you can just sit there and make tracks and make videos and go riding in real life all day. And, you know, every donation just pushes that dream forward a little bit more and a little bit more. And shout out to all the dudes that are grinding out there trying to make their dreams happen. I'm right there along with you. You know, we're somewhere between psychotic and iconic, and we're trying to make it happen out here. So I'm right there with you. I understand that grind of like you're not really where you want to be, but you're working hard at it. You're doing everything you can to make it happen, and I know what you're going through, man. As I completely fly off the track right there, I somehow forgot where my brakes were. Okay, I know when you try to like focus your mind into, oh, okay, that's a whip, okay. When you try to focus your mind into like only keeping it in one gear, it can definitely make everything else a little bit weird, like trying to lean and hit your brakes, and everything else can kind of change when you change any little rule set of what you're actually doing. So now, one thing you'll notice that's harder is just getting like big triple ends out of the corner. That's going to be a lot harder to do, only keeping it in third gear because you're not going to have quite the RPMs coming straight out of the corner. I hit that triple end pretty easily. So that section's not too bad for it. Okay, hit that. Let's see if we can hit this triple end. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to keep your flow around that corner. Now, in real life, I usually do keep it in one gear on most jumps. Like, I'll either have it in second all the way around the corner, or I'll have it in third all the way around the corner. And the reason being for that is because I don't want to miss, especially if it's a jump that you don't want to come up short on. Like, you can't come up short on it, or you're going to basically just, like, completely break something. That's where it becomes more like, okay, I need to just keep this thing in one gear all the way around the corner because I don't want to risk shifting something. And then you guys know how motocross, it's all about your actual it's all about your commitment to jumps. Like if you're not committed from the corner to the jump, you might as well not even try to hit it, you know? So there's like something that goes on with your brain in motocross where it's like you just get so accustomed to hitting the gas all the way to the jump. You know, there's no question. There's no letting off the gas. It's a very commitment, ballsy, heavy kind of sport. It really is. It's one of those things where you're either on it or you aren't, basically. Even on easier tracks, like you don't want to come up short on a tabletop every lap. That's going to wear your ass out. Like you want to hit it all the way. So that's the aspect of what I'm talking about. Like, it's a lot more worrisome having to go from like second to third gear or first, second, and then to third gear in real life, because if you miss shift any of that, your mind is still telling you, okay, I'm fully committed, I'm hitting this jump no matter what. But if you don't get the right gears shifted, then you're going to come up short. And depending on what jump that is, that could hurt really bad. So that's why I personally, especially since I haven't been riding a lot in real life, I'm sure once I start riding a lot more, the shifting while I'm going up to the face of a jump will get a lot more comfortable. But as being more like just chill riding right now for the time being, it's I think it's a lot more safe for me to just keep it in one gear as I'm going all the way around a corner. You can't really do that with the two-stroke. I rode a real-life 125 for a long time. That was basically my first real race bike, so I know how that is, where you're basically forced to shift. Like a two-stroke, you have to be in the right gear. There is no like two different gears you could possibly hit this jump. You guys know how it is on a two-stroke. Like, you have to be in the right gear. But a four-stroke, it's a little more lenient. Like, you can either be in third gear over that jump, or you can be in fourth gear over that jump. A lot of it is like you don't have the same sort of bog that you would on a two-stroke. A two-stroke's like either bog or power band. That's it. Whereas a four-stroke, you had a lot more power within that like underbelly bog that you get. So very different bikes in that sense. Whoops, accidentally shifted to fourth. Okay. But yeah, not too bad on this track. Keeping it in third only. I think you can hit all the rhythms. I know there's a quad up here. Let's see if we can hit it. Okay, triple. That's going to be risky, hitting that quad in third. I think it's one of those you're going to have to shift to fourth to hit it. But it's a pretty chill little, like, way to ride around the track. You just feel super mellow in the corners. It's like, okay, no big deal. Let's just hit the corner. You can hit that as well if you shift to fourth. So a couple of the little bit more bigger pro lines are going to be harder to hit like this, but okay, let's see. Okay, kind of rolling over that. Third gear. Got this little cool jump. But you can hit all these little rhythms like this pretty easily. Yeah, dude, pretty easily, Spence. Okay. But let's see if we can. So, gotta love MX Simulator sometimes, dude. Oh boy. Okay, can we even get back going the proper direction here? Right, like that, and then you can hit this triple pretty easily. Then you come around, you got this little whoop section. See if we can hit this bigger rhythm right here. Yeah, so you jump all the way to that table, and then you jump into the rollers, and then it's obviously going to be kind of, you know, powering out right there, kind of losing speed because you're wide open in third on a super long sand roller section, so you're going to run out of power that way. But as an overall sense, it's not that bad on this track. This is definitely a third gear oriented kind of track for sure. Now, if you're on like a motocross track, or especially a smooth one, or you're on like a local vibe track, it's going to be probably a lot more boring in third gear because it's going to be like, oh my God, I'm just wide open everywhere. That's all I'm really doing. Or if you're on like a really tight arena cross track, you're probably not going to be able to hit the jumps in third gear. So, but you could make it work with a different gearing. You could make third gear like really good on an arena cross track. But it just depends on how your gearing is. But like I've said, for these different gear-only videos, I just keep my gearing the same as I normally would have it, just so that you get a accurate sort of comparison to what, like, I don't want to go in there and change my gearing, because then, you know, first gear can actually be like fifth gear and all that shit, so I'm not really too worried about that. I just keep it the same, and so you get more of an actual representation of what third gear only is on that track. That triple right there is pretty easy. You gotta be careful right there, not over jump that one tabletop. I know that's a little bit of a tricky spot on the track. Let's try to go for the quad. Okay, hit that. Oh, yes, you can hit it in third. Okay, that's cool. I did sit down a little bit right on the face of that. Let's see. Dude, I remember back in the days when I thought, like, sitting down before a jump was, like, everything to this game. I thought that, like, oh, dude, that's how they're hitting those big jumps. They're just sitting down, right? You know, they're seat bouncing. They're sitting down right before they leave the jump. And I, like, went through this whole process of trying to learn how to sit down and do all that. And then it got to the point where it was like, oh, hey, that's actually not that big of a deal to this game. Like, sitting down's not that important at all. Like, it really doesn't do that much. It really doesn't make you jump anything further. All it really does is just change your angle of the way you leave your trajectory in the air. That's all sitting down changes, and it changes it so minutely that if you're not already a pro, you're probably not even going to notice a difference in it. Like, it's so minute, the trajectory. Like, the only time I really sit down in this game is on very specific jumps. Very, like, they just got to be a certain way. Like, you're looking for more pop on it. You're not trying to jump necessarily as far. It's kind of hard to explain it, but it's not as necessary as it may seem. You know, we've gotten accustomed to the seat bouncing in these arcade motocross games where it's basically you seat bounce on every single jump, but that's really not how MX Simulator is. At least for me, it's not that way. Maybe some people find a lot of success in it, but when you think about it, for most jumps out there, you're not trying to jump high. You're trying to stay low. So it's not, usually it's not always the best case to do a seat bounce unless you're really needing it for a specific type of jump, and that's really the only case that it would be used for. But that's just little things that you learn from playing this game for a long time. You just learn how unimportant certain things that would seem important actually are in this game. So either way, I appreciate you guys watching all the videos. Later.